Are you ready for craft show season? Hi there, welcome to the Upcycle Design Lab. If this is your first time here, my name's Cindy and I craft using recycled and repurposed materials. And I'm getting ready for a big craft show in a couple of weeks, so I thought I would share with you 7 tips that you can use in your next craft booth setup. And best of all, they're all under $20 and some of them are even free. I also have a couple of bonus tips for people with a little larger budget, and if you stick around till the end, I'll show you how I made this fun and inexpensive carrying case to store and transport all my jewelry pieces. Idea number 1 is to use drop cloths instead of tablecloths. I've only attended indoor shows, so generally the tables are included in the booth fee, and you also have table skirts. So the only thing I've needed is a table cover for the top of my table, and I've used these 6x9 canvas drop cloths that I got from Harbor Freight for under $10. They've been a really good solution for me. Of course, you can buy tablecloths in a bunch of different color options, but the larger the tablecloth, they do get a little more pricey. And one of the best things that I like about the canvas is that it just kind of camouflages if there's any dust or hair on your tabletop. So if you want a variety of colors, you might want to spend a little bit more and get some tablecloths. But if you're trying to save money and you don't mind having more of a neutral tabletop cover, you might want to give the canvas drop cloths a try. Idea number 2 is to use tin cans. I love to use tin cans in my displays because my products are all about being recycled and repurposed, but cans are great for displays no matter what you're selling. They're versatile and come in so many sizes. You can paint them to change their appearance, stack them and arrange them to display your items at different heights, and you can add a piece of wood to make a shelf to get more vertical use from your booth. You can also camouflage them behind your products if you don't want them to be seen by your customers. And best of all, they're free. This next idea is also very cost-effective. You can use CD and cassette cases to display your items in your booth. I like to use the cassette tapes to display my small carded items, but my favorite way to use them is to use them as business card holders. You can also use the CD cases in a similar fashion. For this display, I simply removed the paper labeling and the plastic insert. Next, I applied a piece of self-adhesive felt to the front of the CD case and trimmed off the excess felt. The CD case will stand up on its own, or you could add something to stabilize the base if you wanted to. And the slit at the top is great for hanging earrings in or sliding the chain of a pendant necklace through to display your jewelry pieces. Tip number 4 is paint stir stick displays. These displays are very economical to make. They can be made in a flat or a hanging version, and they use paint stir sticks and popsicle sticks. They're great for jewelry and other small hanging items, and the flat version can be used for cards, small prints, and carded jewelry. The paint sticks are glued together with the popsicle sticks as supports, and for the hanging version I drilled small holes and added a piece of dowel to hang the items. Then I attached small clothespins to the back to hang the display. If you want to check out the full tutorial for this project, you can find the link in the description. Tip number 5 is to use printable t-shirt iron-ons or printable fabric sheets. If you're just starting out, purchasing a banner for your booth can be a little expensive, and t-shirt iron-ons or printable fabric offer a more affordable way to showcase your logo. One point, if you are using the iron-on version, you'll want to be able to reverse your image so that when you iron it, it will come out correctly. If you're using the printable fabric, you can just leave the logo as is because it will print just like you're printing on a piece of paper. And to be honest, I feel like you get a slightly better ink coverage and a nicer image if you're using the fabric than if you're using the t-shirt iron-ons, but they're both more economical options than purchasing a printed banner. And if you have any graphic editing software, you can even piece together a larger than 8.5 by 11 logo. I used Adobe Illustrator to make this oversized banner for my booth, and I've also used these single sheet versions to display my logo as well. It's time for bonus tip number 1. If you have a little bit of money to spend on your booth, I recommend this metal pet fencing, which acts as a half grid wall. I stumbled onto this idea when I was getting ready for my first craft show, and I didn't have any proper fixtures for my display, but I wanted to add some height and a visual barrier to my booth space. And we just happened to have one piece of this fencing, so I thought I could use it in my display. I like how versatile it is for making different configurations, and the wire framing is great for hanging products in your display. It worked so well that I got more sections and I switched from gold to black. If you have ever looked into purchasing grid wall, this is a great and more affordable option. You get a 16-foot fence with 8 2-foot panels for around $30, compared to around $100 per 2-foot panel of actual grid wall. And like I said, this fencing is so versatile. The hinges all swing 360 degrees, so you can make lots of different configurations with one piece of fencing. There'll be a link in the description to the metal fencing that I'm using if you want to check it out. Tip number 6 is these cardboard display boards. I got these display boards for about $3 a piece, and since they're 4 feet wide, 2 of them fit perfectly on an 8-foot table. They're easy to attach to the metal fencing and provide a finished visual border to the booth. They can also be used to hang lightweight items for more versatile display space in your booth. Item number 7 is lights. And if you've watched anybody else's tips, like I have, you'll know that everybody recommends having some additional light in your booth, especially to highlight some of your most important pieces. So I found these lights at Walmart for about $12. There's a clip-on version and one that's a little bit larger that sits on the table. And I'm not completely sure how I'm going to use them yet, but I think I will be picking up a couple of extra ones since they are nice and small and very affordable. Bonus tip number 2 is table risers, and I got this tip from another YouTuber. I haven't tried using them before, but I am planning to use some at this year's show, so more on that later. And that brings us to bonus tip number 3. This might not be something you want to invest in if you're just starting out, but it is hands down the most important piece in my booth. I use my rolling cart for a cash register stand, to display my logo banner, and to store my personal items during the show. It's super easy to move around inside the booth to accommodate the traffic flow as people are moving in and out, and it also serves as an invaluable hauling tool to move all the products and fixtures in and out of the show during setup and teardown. And I consider this one of my must-have items. If you're considering this purchase, I recommend investing in a sturdy, well-made cart like the one I have by Rubbermaid. Last up is this quick shoebox jewelry case. To make this box, I started with an oversized shoebox. It measures 18 by 11.5 with a 6-inch depth, so it's a pretty big shoebox. But you can use any box that has the top attached and the flaps that lock it into place. To make the support pieces for this, I'm gluing 3 pieces of corrugated cardboard together using Loctite High Performance adhesive spray. And it's pretty messy, so you want to be sure to protect your surface. For a permanent bond with this adhesive, you spray both sides with a medium coat, wait 10 minutes, and then adhere the pieces together. Once that was done, I used a knife to cut my support pieces. My measurements were 2 pieces at 18 by 5 inches and 1 piece 18 by 3. I used my cordless drill, a knife, and some sandpaper to make the notches. I also filled the top edge with some hot glue just to make it a little bit smoother finish, and then I glued the support pieces into the box on either side and added the support piece to the top. Once that was done, I spray painted the whole thing black. And after the paint was dry, I drilled some holes in the lid to add this metal handle that I purchased from the Home Depot. Next, I used some gold paint and my lazy paper towel painting technique to add a little texture to the box. To finish the box, I painted on some fake hinges and corner hardware and used tulip dimensional paint to add a little bit more detail. Because my jewelry is carded on hanging cards, I used small dowels cut to fit inside my box to hang all of the jewelry pieces, to easily store them and to transport them. Don't forget to check out the additional resources in the description. Click the like button if you enjoyed today's video. Subscribe to join my YouTube community and check out one of the videos below for more craft show tips and ideas. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you back here soon in the lab for my next experiment.